Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Tobi COF. What I'm just talking about actually applies both to me and to you guys as college students. I believe that the legal drinking age in the United States should be lowered to 18 in order to decrease alcohol-related incidents. The three main points that we'll be talking about to support this claim would be lowering the MLDA, which stands for the minimum legal drinking age, would create more strict regulations for all ages. The MLDA is actually pretty ineffective for minors since minors tend to drink anyways, at an increased rate actually. And the third claim would be 18 is the age of adulthood, so why is it not the same for the legal drinking age? So for my first point, lowering the MLDA would create more strict regulations at all ages. Honestly, by prohibiting this age group from drinking in public areas, it actually creates more unsafe behavior in binge drinking, since those who can legally drink tend to drink in safer places with better regulations and safety precautions, and a lot of teens tend to drink in more unsafe environments, and that leads to binge drinking, other bad effects, and increases the chance of unsafe behavior. So if the MLD were to be lowered to 18, there would be a decrease in irresponsible drinking and accidents related to alcohol. Along with this, most countries actually have an MLDA that is lower than 21, and that has much more benefits compared to the United States. For example, according to the World Health Organization, 31% of traffic accidents in the US is actually related to alcohol. In other countries that has the MLDA lower than 21, the rates are much lower. France stands at 29%, Great Britain at 16%, Germany at 9%, and China at the lowest for 4%. And with the correlation between traffic accidents related to alcohol compared to total traffic accidents in the US, there's actually really no correlation. According to Alcohol Alert, there was a study done in 2011 that compared these two rates. Between 1982 and 1983, the percentage of alcohol-related fatalities decreased from 60% to 58%. This was 2 years before the actual national MLDA was set to 21. So this really makes no correlation between setting the legal drinking age and decreasing fatalities due to alcohol. So for my second point, the MLDA is actually pretty ineffective since most teens consume alcohol regardless. By lowering the MLDA, alcohol consumption would be more normalized, which would diminish the thrill of breaking the law. Most teens, according to a study done by Forbes, consume alcohol solely for the thrill of breaking the law and the fun that comes with it. And with this, it is much easier to access other illegal substances, increasing the use of harder drugs amongst minors and ultimately amongst all ages. There's also the fact that police are inclined to pretty much under-enforce or ignore the MLDA 21. Because of their limit in resources, the inadequacy of punishments, and the effort that would need to be put into the paperwork of fully enforcing this law. With this fact, an estimated 2 out of 1,000 occasions of illegal drinking by minors results in any arrests, according to the public health records shown by the National Institutes of Health. Now for my last claim, the 18 is the age for being a legal adult in the US, so why is it not the legal drinking age for minors? So if adulthood is considered to be 18, why can't we drink at 18? It only makes sense to change it since it means that you're a responsible adult in the US. Most teens who turn 18 do not really get that much free in the first place. If you think about it, purchasing nicotine, this is actually an example that kind of relates to alcohol, since both nicotine and alcohol is highly consumed amongst minors. So purchasing nicotine-related products or tobacco like cigarettes, Juuls, stuff like that, you have to be 21 to purchase it. But actually, the actual consumption of it only has to be 18. So it doesn't really correlate with each other. And it kind of shows that even though we have all these regulations for those that have to be 21 to do something, it's still very highly used amongst minors that technically aren't supposed to have it. So just like the minimum legal drinking age within the US, if teens are legally allowed to consume nicotine, a highly addictive drug, why not alcohol within a safer environment with better regulations? All right. Thank you guys.
Okay, well, let's start with the proposition, which is a policy claim, so that's not really appropriate for the topic that we're talking about, but there are factual issues in the first and second points that are something that we can be spending a little bit of time on. Would a lower MLDA result in reduced hazards for people drinking? That is a claim. If you say it would, that's a declarative statement, and that's kind of the position that you're taking. Now, your argument seems to be that there's a whole series of claims that says it creates a kind of a climate where people want to do this. They engage in binge drinking, and I didn't really hear any information that supported the binge drinking theory, so I think that that's a little bit problematic. Later on, there's an argument about how there is this kind of, you don't use the term forbidden fruit, but it's a law-breaking sort of thing. That's actually on the third point, I guess it is, where that, oh no, it's on the second point where the kids are, they're looking for the thrill of breaking the rules and fighting against that sort of thing. The only proof that you have on that point is this Forbes article that you refer to, and it doesn't really sound like it's a study. There's no numerical data that's presented. It's kind of a conclusion. So why that publication is studying this and why they reached that conclusion is not explained. I think you need to have clearer data, especially from the quote that you're giving us on that particular point. The argument that you had on the first point where you suggest that the high age is problematic, and the closest that you get to evidence that suggests that that there's a correlation there is the driving issues or the accident rates that are related to alcohol consumption in the different countries. I thought that you did a pretty good job kind of explaining that, although suggesting that there is a correlation between those countries. I'm not exactly sure how good the comparison is going to be. I would imagine that that'll be one of the things that's suggested by the response speaker, that there are in fact differences in the way the rules work in those places. But the difference between the U.S. and France doesn't sound that significant, but the other countries that you have, that did sound pretty significant. And so the more information you could find on that, I think the better off you'd be. You've got kind of a rebuttal argument built in here about what the rates were in 82 and 83. And I know it's an attempt to answer an argument being made that'll be made by the other side on this particular issue, but I didn't think it was presented in a very clear way. You sound like you were rushing the whole time. I know that you want to get everything in and you're in a hurry, but you do have another minute and 40 seconds, so you can pace yourself a little bit more. I'm not sure if it's the anxiety that gets you, maybe some of that CVD. All right. Thank you.